across the fence, we're gearing up for the 2018 Farm Show and putting the focus on food, farming, and fun. Good afternoon, and thanks for joining us. I'm Judy Simpson. The doors open next Tuesday on the 87th Annual Vermont Farm Show. It is the state's largest agricultural showcase, attracting up to 10,000 visitors each day to the Champlain Valley Expo in Essex Junction. The show will honor the Vermont Dairy Farm of the Year and highlight equipment, animals, and food. It'll also feature the Capital Cook-Off and the Buy Vermont Market. We'll go over the details on all the Farm Show events and activities, and we'll meet Clover the cow. But first, I want to welcome the Farm Show manager, Jackie Folsom. It's great to see you again. Thanks so much for coming in.
Thanks for having me, Judy.
Let's start with some of the details. When and where is the show?
The show will be back at Expo, the Champlain Valley Expo in Essex Junction. It's been a great venue for us. It starts on Tuesday, January 30th from 9 to 4. Wednesday, January 31st, starts at 8:30 and goes to 7:30. That's our longest day. And then Thursday, February 1st from 9 to 4.
And so this marks the show's 87th year. Can you share some of the history on what the Farm Show has meant over the years?
You know, I think it's always been a gathering place in midwinter for all of the farmers who are getting that itch to get out and see what's happening. It's a great spot to look at new technology and visit with old friends. We have a lot of annual meetings for agricultural organizations in the state. And we also have the Dairyman's Banquet on Thursday, so it's a great spot to just come in and see what's going on with agriculture.
And so the Farm Show moved to the Champlain Valley Expo in 2012. I understand there's been steady growth since that move.
It's been really incredible. The amount of vendors that we've had coming in, the amount of large machinery, which everybody from youngsters to oldsters are interested in seeing, all the new technology that goes with that. And we've been able to increase almost 100% on the number of vendors that we have in, which means more types of vendors and more exhibitors to check into.
What do you think are some of the reasons for that continued growth?
Well, I think that agriculture is growing and it's changing, and so what we try to do at the Farm Show is make sure that anybody who wants to do farming or a little bit of forestry can come in and see what different types of technology there are, how to get a loan, how to access UVM programs. We just have a wide diversity of things that are available there. And I also think that it's a great show and it's a great spot to come visit, all on one floor, free admission, great and free parking.
And so education has always been a big part of the Farm Show. How does the show support Vermont students in agriculture and science education?
On Wednesday, we have always hosted the FFA competitions, and so that is happening again. That's one of the reasons the show opens at 8:30 is because the students come in at 8:30 and they're there till about 2. This year we've got a new event that we can talk about a little later that's called Job Fair on the Floor, and the FFA kids will actually be going and checking out the booths to see if they can find a job this year.
That's a good thing to do. So when the doors open on Tuesday, what's new?
On Tuesday, what's new? Well, we have Laylee, who has always been there with the robotic milkers, is not bringing robotic milkers next year, and they've got this great secret display that's going to be taking up just as much space. We're all very interested in the new technology that they're going to be bringing and what exactly they're bringing in. The Jobs Fair on the Floor, as I mentioned, we've got about 24 companies that will be able to talk about career opportunities to anyone that comes in, not just the FFA students or the 2+2 kids who will be there on Thursday, but anyone who's interested in a career change or thinking about the future can stop at these organizations. They're listed on our website, and there will be a brochure at the front desk that they can grab.
And they can also find out more just from the companies themselves.
Absolutely. There'll be somebody at each company that's indicated they want to participate in the Job Fair on the Floor. They'll have signage, and they'll be prepared to talk about career opportunities within that company.
Can you give us a quick rundown of some of the events that are also going to be taking place?
Sure. We have the contests, of course. They'll be it's run through UVM Extension, and if you're interested in that, please visit our website. We have contests in the maple, honey, fiber, and hay. So we'd love to have a lot of products come in. The judging happens Monday night. Tuesday, we have the Christmas trees come in, and there's nothing like smelling wonderful balsam trees in the entryway as you come in. And they also have their annual meeting, as well as the Beekeepers Association. And the Beekeepers Association meeting has grown and grown. There's been a lot of people interested in backyard hives, so that's really a a hoppin' hivin' place. Wednesday we have the FFA competition, and Thursday we have the dairy banquet. We also have meetings throughout with the beef producers and with the Vermont Sheep and Goat Associations.
And so, as we mentioned earlier, one of the farm show traditions is to honor the Vermont Dairy Farm of the Year. Who's being honored this year?
This year, it's close to home for me. It's East Montpelier, the Fairmont Farm folks, and they've got a wonderful operation over there with many, many generations, so it's very exciting.
And so I had the pleasure of visiting Fairmont Farm last summer and spoke at the halls about farming and family, and it's just a beautiful, beautiful farm. So let's hear what they had to say.
Great.
Could you have continued farming on your own if you hadn't formed Fairmont Farm in 1992, do you think?
That's a hard question. I mean, I think that we chose to kind of grow in order to really go through some generational transfers that we saw coming up. It allowed us to buy out the older generations and also bring in younger generations like we did with Tucker Purchase.
And so, Bonnie, what made you decide to be involved with 4-H and host a summer camp as you're not busy enough on the farm as it is?
We started the summer camp. This will be our 3rd year, and it was our oldest daughter Clara's idea when she came back to the farm a few years ago. She just thought it would be great to get more people to see what we do here on the farm, and we started out doing 2 weeks a summer, thinking that we didn't know if we'd get 10 kids or how many. And the first summer we had, I think, 12 kids one week and 15 the next. We run it from 9 to 3 every day, and the kids get their own calf assigned to them. They learn how to feed them, wash them, brush them, lead them. We do a little practice show at the end. And then the parents all come on Friday to watch the show, and then they come do a tour of the farm as well.
And what ages are the kids usually?
6 to 12. Mm-hmm. And we have, a good mix of all of that. We've got a lot of returning kids. Some of these kids, this is going to be their 3rd year, so they love coming back. The mornings are spent, washing and doing chores and leading their calves. And then in the afternoon, we spend time doing different workshops. We talk about, my father-in-law John comes and talks about some farm history with the kids. We've done some fire safety. We've had the vet come talk to the kids. We've done some tours. We've been to the Cabot Creamery. So that's kind of what our day looks like.
Yeah, Richard, talk a little bit about that, about the impact that being around the animals and being on the farm and learning about farm life has on these kids.
Oh, I think it's huge. I think the biggest thing is it's something when they first join that they know nothing about, and I think it's as much beneficial for us in the dairy industry as it is for the kids too. Just to have more people aware of what we do and why we do it, and the kids. It seems to have a really big impact on them, and like Bonnie said, it's pretty rewarding when you have an older member that wants to stay within your industry and kind of seek that career.
And our congratulations to Fairmont Farms. They're going to be honored at the farm show at noon on Thursday, February 1st. And Jackie, a lot of what we talked about in that clip was getting kids involved in agriculture, and that's very important.
It's paramount, and it is one of the reasons that we're looking at doing jobs fair on the floor. And also, we're getting into new technology this year by being on Twitter. We've got a gentleman that's coming in and running tweets through the whole show on Instagram, and we have the hashtag Vermont Farm Show 18. So everybody look for that and get on that and send out the word.
Excellent. Well, joining me now is Ali Zaparo from the Vermont Agency of Agriculture, Foods and Markets. Thanks so much for coming in. It's great to see you again.
Thanks for having us.
Now, one of the farm show traditions is Consumer Night. That's a big night. What's happening this year?
So it's our 7th annual Consumer Night, and that's a night where we celebrate the consumers and Vermont food and fiber products. Mm-hmm. So it's really like sort of a 2-part thing where we have what we call a buy local market, which is really a farmer's market, where we have over 50 vendors. And then on the other side of the room, we have the Capital Cook-Off, which is an Iron Chef style competition between the Agency of Agriculture, the Senate Ag Committee and the House Ag Committee.
I think what I like most about the Farmers Market and Consumer Night is that you get a chance to really meet the people who are making the products.
Yeah, you get a chance to meet over 50 vendors who are selling cheese and meat and produce, culinary oils, jams, honey, maple syrup. We've got plenty of Vermont beer, wine, mead even, spirits, and then we have crafts and non-food products that are made here in Vermont with Vermont products like candles, wool products, and various other things. And then we have a ton of prepared foods as well. So, we just hope that people come ready to shop and, have dinner right there at the farm show.
It really is a very popular event.
It is, yeah. We every single year it grows both in the number of people who attend and the exciting things that we do.
Now, you've also added something a little bit new involving food and social media.
Yeah, so we're going to be doing a big social media campaign. We've partnered with Rooted in Vermont. Rooted in Vermont is a concept all about celebrating Vermont food. So it's any kind of local food, whether you hunt or forage or fish, or of course, obviously buying directly from the farmer or buying Vermont farm products in restaurants, or even schools and institutions, or just sharing local food that you grew with your friends and family. So that's actually represented in a hashtag. It's hashtag Rooted in Vermont, Vermont spelled out. And of course, we're going to be promoting the Farm Show's hashtag, which is VT Farm Show 18. And of course, with all of our consumer nights, we always have a raffle associated. So this year, the raffle will be associated with social media. So anybody attending the event who posts about consumer night using one of those two hashtags, Rooted in Vermont or VT Farm Show 18, will be entered into a raffle. And we've got great prizes, everything from Vermont Cheese Council to Ski Vermont to Vermont Teddy Bear. So it's definitely worth it to attend and really go heavy on the social media.
Let's talk a little bit about the Capital Cook-Off, because that's going on sort of simultaneously as well, and it's a lot of action, a lot of posturing and some smackdowns. So tell me how that works.
Yeah, this again will be the 7th year of the Capital Cook-Off, and it's this fierce Iron Chef style competition, and generally we have teams from Agency of Ag, of course, the reigning champs for several years.
You would expect
competing against the House Ag Committee and the Senate Ag Committee. It's a chance to really get the various parts of government working with the lawmakers in a friendly competition. There's all of the products they're cooking with is local and largely comes from generous support from City Market, Healthy Living, and then we've partnered with Salvation Farms. So some of the pantry items are actually naturally beautiful produce that's been gleaned. And then at 5:15, we announced the secret ingredient. In the past we've had venison, goat. So we're expecting this year's secret ingredient to be as exciting as any other year. I actually don't even know the secret ingredient.
I was going to see if I could drag that out of you, but no.
We've been pretty tight-lipped on that, and so it's pretty heavily guarded secret, and we'll all find out, I guess, at 5:15 on Consumer Night.
Excellent. Well, there's one more guest to meet before we finish today's show. Joining us now is Clover the cow from the Agency of Agriculture. Allie, tell our viewers a little bit about Clover.
Well, Clover, thanks for joining us. Clover is actually a cow that is really all the breeds that we typically see in dairy farms in Vermont. So really just representing everything from Holsteins to Ayrshires to Brown Swiss to Jerseys and Guernseys. And when Clover's out and about, like Clover will be at Consumer Night, Clover's representing our hardworking dairy farmers, dairy workers, and everybody in the dairy community. So Clover's going to be there in a photo booth. We've partnered with Skinny Pancakes, Salvation Farms, and Rooted in Vermont to do a crepe happy hour. So the first hour of the Buy Local Market of Consumer Night will be giving away samples of crepes, and Clover's going to be in a photo booth. So this again is an excellent chance to get in that social media.
Excellent.
So Clover will be there, and at the farm show at our Agency of Ag booth in general, at a photo booth. So
look for Clover.
Clover's got a big role.
So Jackie, before we go, how can people get more information about this year's farm show?
We have a great website, vtfarmshow.com, so please check that out. One quick thing I'd like to add is that although admission is free, we are partnering with the Chittenden Emergency Food Shelf again, so please bring in a canned good and we will be taking cash donations. And consumers, please come in early because our exhibitors would love to have you wander through our booths and have you get educated on how wonderful agricultural is doing in the state of Vermont.
Well, I want to thank you all for joining us today.
Thanks,
Thank
Judy.
you.
That's our program for today. I'm Judy Simpson. I'll see you again next time on Across the Fence.